Hi, I'm Darryn Farrugia and welcome. So it's the start of March and I've been doing this routine since the start of January, so we're 3 months into this. So let me tell you where I'm at, what tempos I'm playing at, and I have a couple of new things that I've introduced to the routine. At the start of the February update, I was playing a single stroke roll at 150 beats per minute, if I remember correctly, maybe 152. And today I'm starting at 164. So the tempo that you heard me play today was 168. That was the third of the tempos that I played today. 164, 166, then 168. So from the 1st of January, where I started at 120 beats per minute, to the 1st of February, where I was starting at 150, that was an increase of 30 beats per minute. This last month sees an increase of only 14 beats per minute. So let me explain what's happened. I did say in the previous video that as the tempos get faster, I may need to sit on one tempo for maybe a few days or even a week. And so that's what I've done. So allow me to consult my diary here. I got up to 164 on the 13th of February. And I started to experience some tension that was a little uncomfortable, so I dropped the tempo back by 10 beats per minute, back to 154, and just worked on increasing those tempos slowly. So just to put you in the picture, I jumped back to 154. I did that for 3 days. I did 156 for 2 days, 158 for 2 days, and then 160 for a day, 162 for a day, and then today I started at 164. So that's why the increase in tempo has been a little slower than it has been in the previous month. It really does pay to keep a practice diary. One thing I've observed as the tempos had gotten faster was the increase in tension when I played my first tempo. Then when I went to play the second tempo, even though that tempo was 2 beats per minute faster, there was actually much less tension. And then the same again when I got to the third tempo, there was less tension again, which prompted me to make a couple of adjustments to my practice routine. I felt I needed to do a warm-up on a practice pad prior to actually practicing on this dead surface. So my warm-up of choice is what I call big singles. I did a video of that a few months back, so I'm going to leave a link to that in the description below. So basically what that warm-up is full strokes, full rebound. At the moment I'm doing this at 110 beats per minute for 4 minutes. It should look like this. The next thing I do is stretch. So I'm going to show you the stretch that I've been doing. It was taught to me by my dad when I was a little kid, and then my drum teacher around the time that I was 15 made this a part of my practice routine as well. So the stretch is this one. I'm going to do it first and I'm going to talk you through it. So when I get to this point, I hold that stretch for about 30 seconds, but let me show you what I've done to get to this position. So I start with my palms facing upwards. I drop the sticks in those palms, close my hands, and then I'm going to move my right stick towards the middle of my chest. My left elbow is going to pop out, and my left arm is going to push my hand underneath, and both my hands end up in this inverted position. And yeah, like any stretch, I hold that for 30 seconds. There are a number of variations on this which I'm going to show you in an upcoming video, but this is really what I do after I warm up, and I also do that stretch in between each of my tempos when I'm practicing on the non-rebound surface. So this non-rebound surface is now going to be known as the contraption. Its full name is Peter Blick's contraption, but we're going to call this the contraption. In case you haven't seen it before, it is a folded towel with an old drum head sitting on top of it and just a couple of bits of gaffer tape underneath that to stop the drum head from moving around. And as you can see from the previous video, I'm still in the same position. I mean, I've moved, I haven't been here the whole time, I've gotten around the house, but I'm still practicing in this position on my drum stool and sitting in my office chair. Another element that I've introduced to this routine is the finger control exercises, which I'm about to show you. So I'm going to admit that finger control hasn't been something that I've practiced a lot over the years, and so therefore I don't think I'm that great at it, to be honest with you, but you know, it is a work in progress. And I'm using the ProLogix green pad, the Logix pad, that's going to give me a lot of rebound. And so the exercises just consist of a pyramid, let's say, starting with 4 strokes per hand and moving up to 16 strokes per hand. So in terms of finger control is just a way of manipulating the sticks using the fingers with very little wrist movement involved. I haven't quite figured out a way of isolating just the fingers, but the first exercise that I would suggest that you practice is this exercise. You're going to turn your palm down. This is if you're playing traditional grip. I'll show you the right hand version in a second. So if you're playing traditional grip, you hold the stick in the fulcrum, you turn your palm down, and then the idea is to get the stick to bounce using that finger and that finger. As you can hear, that's uneven, but as I warm up, it actually does improve. So from this position, we want to move it around to a normal playing position. And that's the position I haven't quite nailed yet. This is the thing I'm not too sure about, because there are a couple of positions. One position is using just the index finger. And then there's another position which is slightly different, using the index finger and the middle finger also. I haven't quite decided which one works best for me at this stage, but as I said, it is a work in progress. For the right hand, thumb up, and just manipulating the stick with the fingers underneath. So the exercises start with 4 strokes per hand. We're dealing with eighth notes here, so if I'm playing at 190, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that's the subdivision that we're using. So my first exercise is in 2/4 as eighth notes, and I've got 4 strokes per hand. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I do that for a minute. The next pattern is in 3/4, which is 6 strokes per hand. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Again, we're going to do that for a minute. We move on to the next pattern, which is in 4/4 as eighth notes, gives us 8 strokes per hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to 5/4, which is going to give us 10 strokes per hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We move to 6/4, 12 strokes per hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we go to 7/4, which is going to give us 14 strokes per hand, again for 1 minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. And finally, we play 2 bars of 4/4 or 1 bar of 8/4 to give us 16 strokes per hand. I'm going to give you 1 bar of 4 in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as I said, that's a bit of a work in progress. I'm slowly improving on this exercise. Now, as I said to you, each of those patterns is played for 1 minute each. Now, you can stop at the end of each minute before you start, but I'm actually at a point where I play all these patterns back to back, which gives me a workout of about 7 minutes. So that's where we're at the moment. We've added a few new things. We've got the warm-up, which is the big singles. I'll leave a link to that video down below. And then I'm stretching after that, and I'm also stretching between each instance where we're practicing those singles on the non-rebounding surface, also known as the contraption. And then I followed that up with those finger control exercises that I've just shown you. I think in the next couple of months I want to introduce some molar stroke to all of this as well, and also some short burst singles using finger technique as you know, that tempo increases. Now, I've also had some inquiries about the metronome app that I'm using, so if you're interested in knowing what that is, the app that I use is called Polynome. I'm going to leave a link to their website in the description down below. And same again for the pads. I'm using the ProLogix pads, which I really love, and again I'll leave a link to those down below. So this is where I'm at the moment. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I also hope that you're joining in on this journey. I know that some of you out there are actually doing this along with me, and I've met a few drummers in town recently who have said that they're actually doing this. So all the best with that. I'm really keen to see how you're getting along with it. If you like this video, hit the like button, and feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. That way you know when I've uploaded a video, which is every week. So until next time, happy practicing, and I will see you next week. Bye. Far out, man.